So, I've decided that I really don't like Call of Duty anymore. Now, there's basically a heap of reasons as to why. And this has kind of been on my mind for a while. It's just taken me a while to really kind of come to terms with the fact, because I've been playing Call of Duty since COD 4 Modern Warfare. The original PlayStation 3, although I was playing on Xbox 360 at the time, that original sort of next generation of what Call of Duty was going to become and has formed into what it is today. I did used to play a little bit of it back on like the PlayStation 2 days. I think my first ever Call of Duty game was Big Red 1, which was kind of like a standalone expansion to maybe Call of Duty 2 or 3. Don't quote me on that one, can't quite remember. But in the last 18 months, I've completely fallen out of love with the franchise. And I just kind of wanted to talk about exactly why that is. Big reason number one, skill-based matchmaking. Now, none of the Call of Duty developers have come out and said that this thing actually exists. And for those who don't know, or kind of want a refresher on what exactly skill-based matchmaking is it's essentially, instead of you getting put into a lobby with just completely random players who are either have similar connection to you or live near to you, you are put into a lobby with people who are of equal skill to you. So what they are doing is they are taking your skill level and matching you with people who are of a similar skill level to you. So you're basically always playing, for the most part, people who are as good, if not better, or if not slightly worse than you are. So what this basically means is that every time you log into Call of Duty and you want to play online, you are having to try your absolute hardest because it's such an even playing field. Now, I hate that because it means that if I come home from work at the end of a long day, or I have a day off where I just want to chill out, I can't play Call of Duty because I have to start sweating and start trying unbelievably hard if I actually want to do good at the game. Call of Duty used to be based on connection for the most part. That's not the case anymore. So you would get put up against players of a whole multitude of skill levels. So you could get put in a lobby where every single person in that lobby is better than you and you just get stomped and that's that. But, you know, it'd be like, okay, that's fine. Because in 2 or 3 games, you might get put in a lobby and go, 30 for 1. Because you're better than everyone else in that lobby. And that was the trade-off. You understood that because it was a casual playlist. You were just going to be put in one and, it was whatever happened. Now, it's you have to try your utter hardest to even go evens. I don't want to do that. It's exhausting. But it's not the only reason why I don't like Call of Duty anymore. It's one of the biggest, and maybe the biggest, but it's not the only reason. Another one of the biggest reasons is the fact that Call of Duty nowadays, at least in the last 2, arguably 3 games, actually, last 3 games, stretching back to Black Ops 4, so Black Ops 4, Modern Warfare, and now Call of Duty Cold War, those games, they weren't finished. They weren't finished. When they came out, they were not finished. Black Ops 4 didn't even have a campaign. It was supposed to have one, but it was in such a bad shape that they got rid of it. It didn't have a campaign. Its multiplayer was lackluster at best. On release, it got really good towards the end, I'll give it credit, and its zombies was pretty good too. But it wasn't finished. Then Modern Warfare came, and it had barely any maps. It didn't have a battle royale. It had a campaign, and the campaign was pretty good, but the multiplayer was empty and broken. Leaderboards didn't work. There was hardly any weapons. The maps were horrible. Spawns were trash. People were just literally spawning behind you. It was horrible, horrible, broken game. Then Cold War came out this year, and I was like, maybe Treyarch will have learned their lesson, and they'll, have really made something good with this game. Nope. The game was empty when it came out. It had a battle royale because Warzone was already there, which we'll get to. It had a campaign, but that campaign is, without a doubt, the worst Call of Duty campaign I've ever played. Now, I didn't play Infinite Warfare, the one with Kit Harington, God bless him, but I think I can safely say that Cold War is probably the worst Call of Duty campaign ever. It's so bad. It's incredibly short. Its story is terrible. The graphics are horrible. It runs badly. Nothing about the campaign is redeemable. And you know what the saddest part is? All of the other Black Ops campaigns have been so good. Black Ops 1, the campaign in that, may be my favorite Call of Duty campaign ever. This one, trash. Throw it out of the window. Hate it. Everything about Cold War was not finished. I can't think off the top of my head, but I know for a fact that there's one of the smallest, if not the smallest amount of maps ever in a Call of Duty at release. The guns, there's hardly any of those as well. Nothing about that game is redeemable. It plays badly, the skill-based matchmaking is off the charts, there's hardly any guns, so there's very, very little variation in that game whatsoever, and you basically get put into the same map every time because they brought back map voting, and there's only one good map in that game. And even that map isn't good, and that's Moscow. Moscow is the only acceptable map in that game. All of the others are hot trash, and they can go and die with the rest of Call of Duty. It's such a bad game, and granted, I haven't played it since December, so it probably is better now in terms of its content because they've finally released all the stuff they were supposed to release at the release of the game, but it just wasn't finished. It wasn't finished. Speaking of maps, one of the biggest other reasons as to why I hate Call of Duty now is the map design. The map design is terrible, and it's intentionally bad as well. It's intentionally bad because what the Call of Duty executives decided was that they valued new players paying money and staying in their game than they did their old and loyal customers enjoying the game. Now, basically what that means is that the maps that they designed were designed so that bad players could succeed in them. Call of Duty was known for its 3-lane, especially Treyarch, was known for their 3-lane top-tier maps. That means there'd be a top lane, a middle lane, and a bottom lane. That is still technically the design for a lot of these maps, but it's very loose. Very, very loose indeed. What they've done is they've still kind of stuck to that 3-lane structure. However, what they've done now is they've thrown a door here, a door here, a door here, a window here, a window here, another random flank route here. It means that you can do as good as you want to, but the chances of you getting shot in the back while you're on a kill streak are incredibly high. So that somebody who's struggling, a new player who sucks at the game, they can be on a huge death streak and just be walking around a corner and all of a sudden, oh look, there's somebody with their back facing towards me. Let me just shoot them. And your kill streak's gone. It's down to the fundamental design of the maps, which has been specifically created by Call of Duty developers to give bad players a chance to succeed or do less badly, and for good players to be punished. I yearn for the days of just a traditional 3 lanes where you could work those lanes or work one lane and know what was in front of you, behind you, and to the side of you if you were a good player. If you could focus on your radar, you'd be able to work that map. You can't do that anymore. No matter how good you are, it's almost impossible to cover every single angle in Call of Duty now. And you might say, oh, well, that's kind of the point, you know, maybe you shouldn't be able to work every single angle. If you're good enough, you should be able to.
And I can't stand the pain, and I can't make it go away. No, I can't stand the pain. How could this happen? I made my mistakes, got nowhere to run. The night goes on as I'm fading away. I'm sick of this life, I just wanna scream. How could this happen to me?
Another reason is the focus on Warzone. I was hesitant to put this one in here, but I think I have to because Warzone has made Call of Duty worse, in my opinion. It's made Call of Duty worse because it's split the development and focus of developers between essentially 2 separate games. Warzone has been around for 2 Call of Duties now, since Modern Warfare, and while it is a good battle royale, if you don't play Warzone every single day of your freaking life, every single time you jump into it, you're gonna get wrecked. Simple as. Because everyone else sweats it unbelievably hard that it's impossible to do well, for the most part, at least consistently, if you don't play it consistently. Streaming has created this culture in gaming where people focus so unbelievably hard on one thing and just excel at that one thing, which is fine. They make money from it and good on them. But it creates a culture where people just focus on one thing and one thing alone. They get so good at it that basically if you don't focus on it as much as they do, you can't enjoy it. And feeding into the Warzone issue is this new trend of crossing over titles with one another. So what that means is that because Warzone has become its own entity now, its own free-to-play entity, every single Call of Duty from now on ties into Warzone as well. Which means that the feel of the game has to be the same as Warzone. The guns have to be playable in Warzone. Every single Call of Duty from here on out, if it's going to tie itself into Warzone, has to be the same. And what that's done is create the same game. Treyarch was known for its bright, fast-paced, energetic, really kinetic Call of Duty gameplay. If you told me blindly to guess which developer had developed Cold War, Treyarch would have been bottom of my list. Call of Duty wise, it's night and day to what they've created before. It's boring, it's dull, it lacks life. The only aesthetically good map, in my opinion, in Cold War was Miami, and the gameplay of it was trash. Everything that's developed now in Call of Duty has to have Warzone in mind. And that's a bad thing because they're not the same game. CODs aren't able to be their own thing anymore. They have to be a cohesive unit. And that means that developers basically have to make a game with one hand tied behind their back. Another small thing that really just put me off of Call of Duty was the changes that they made to Prestige. They started it in Modern Warfare, and they carried it over into Cold War, and it's this idea that the Prestige system in Call of Duty was somehow needing to be fixed, even though it was perfect. Before, you would get to level 55, or whatever the max level cap was, and then, if you wanted to, you could Prestige, which basically meant you would get a new emblem and you would reset back to 0. That was the payoff. You got a cool little emblem to show that you had prestiged, and there was normally a max prestige, so if you got to that max prestige, which used to be 10, and then in Black Ops 4, I think they made it Master Prestige, which then had 1,000 levels after it. It was a flex, and it was a cool flex. It was fun. I used to love prestiging, because it meant that I actually had something to attain every single time I hit that max level cap. Now, they got rid of that. They were like, no, we don't want to do that anymore. We're going to do some other trash thing. We're going to do specific challenges that you only unlock every single prestige. Or, we're going to tie it to seasons. And if you hit a certain level within this season, then you can unlock a past emblem. I don't want that crap. I want a thing specific to this Call of Duty that no one else has unless they've achieved the exact same thing that I have. And lastly, microtransactions. Now, I know. Microtransactions have existed in Call of Duty for a long time. I know that. I bought the Snoop Dogg voiceover pack for Call of Duty Coasts, and I don't regret it. It was the best purchase I've ever made in a Call of Duty game.
Rack up points by reaching the enemy portal, you dig?
It was exceptional, and they should definitely bring that back. However, microtransactions in Call of Duty now have become a disease. Call of Duty nowadays is essentially a free-to-play game on the surface, but you just have to pay 70 quid to get into it. The game store is littered with microtransactions, littered with skins, littered with other guns you can buy, littered with blueprints. It's just sickening. You have to pay for the battle pass, which gives you other skins, but if you want other stuff as well, then you can pay extra money, which is exactly what Fortnite did, but the fact is, Fortnite was free and Call of Duty is 70 quid, or 70 bucks, whatever you're paying. It's unacceptable. Call of Duty is a free-to-play game that you have to pay for. I'm just sad. I'm sad because I love COD. It was the game that I would go to play with my friends, and at some point last year when I was playing Modern Warfare, I got shot in the back for the millionth time, and I took a break. I went and played Death Stranding, which was really relaxing and calming. I came back to COD. I enjoyed it for a bit, and then I said to myself, you know what, maybe Cold War will be better. I played it for about 6 weeks, and I haven't touched it since. And it makes me sad because I miss playing with my friends. I just miss the fun of it. I miss the fun of COD. I miss the fun of just being able to be like, you know what, I'll chill out and play some COD with my friends. We can chat, we can do whatever. But you can't do that anymore. If you play COD with your friends now, you better realize that you're not going to be able to chat. You're going to have to scream left, right, and center exactly what's happening. Otherwise, you're not going to do well. Please, Activision, please think about us who have been playing your game for years now and are just sick to the back teeth of what it's turning into. Please, please, please bring it back to what it was. Sincerely, Dave.
Shut up and sit down.
What?